Hi everybody, I'm Andrea. I'm sensing my feet. I see all your feet. And I want to acknowledge what I'm reading. It's not what I wrote. I acknowledge it's somebody else that I didn't met yet that wrote it. Somebody who was at the Atlanta forest. But then reading all these memories, there was one that really struck to me, that reflected very deeply into myself. And that's what I would like to read to you. And I was like, what we offering back when reading it? And so I was like wondering, how far would it make from here to the forest? How many days would it take my feet to walk there? So I Googled it. It would take me, with no rest, every day walking, 12 days and 2 hours.
Go!
So if you take some rest in between, it would take us a month. I would like that we offer this back, thinking we will go there. So meanwhile, I'm reading this memory. I would like that you're walking on place and you're not stopping to walking. And this is what we're offering back. I don't know Todd for very long, but I'm honored to have met him. In the short time I knew them, they were constantly putting a smile on my face. They had a laugh that was so infectious and always wanted to help others however they could. They had a deep love for music and would send me whatever their favorite song was at the moment. They were sweet, kind, and they believed in a better world for all and the generations that will come after us. Free from violence, destruction, and evil. Their love for the forest should be instilled in all of us. And their passion for protecting human life is an example we should all look up to. You fought hard, friend. And beluga so much good to this world. Now, it's time for you to rest. We will carry on your legacy and ensure you are never forgotten.
I'd like to thank the deer for being with us today. I'm Savitri. I'm with the Stop Shopping Choir, and I've been working in this park with many of you. I'm very glad to be here today. I just want to tell everyone that this tent yesterday was inside a JP Morgan Chase, which is an investor in Cop City. So it has the memory of some direct action and some interruption of work at a Chase Bank uptown. We sang Tortuguita's name in the Chase Bank for almost 45 minutes as loud as we could. And can't say it felt really good, but it felt strong. We're going to sing a couple songs, and Billy's going to speak for a minute, and I'm going to speak for a minute, but we'll start with a song about walking in a city called Because.
I walk by you. Everyone we've ever loved is walking by too, because the air around you moves like light. I gather the four walls and fall with the night, because the hours were ours, time carries the part. Our quiet wildness is the beat of our hearts. The rest of my life is flying by yours. The lives of our bodies shake through the doors, because you walk by me and I walk by you. Everyone we've ever loved is walking by too, because the air around you moves like light. I gather the four walls and fall with the night, because the hours were ours, time carries the part. Our quiet wildness is the beat of our hearts.
I just want to say a couple things about being an activist and what happens to activists when activists are murdered being activists, and how scary it is and how threatening. And I just want to acknowledge that means something particular to people who spend their lives resisting the state, resisting corporate capitalism, and resisting these forces that are destroying the life systems of which we are a part. I want to acknowledge that it's terrifying and scary, but I also want to say that there's a long lineage of people protecting the land. There's a long lineage of people fighting capitalism. There's a long lineage of people pushing back against the state, and we are with them and they are with us. And we stand here in the relative safety of New York City, in this so-called progressive city. And what do we see in front of us? Nothing but destruction. And we were here recently watching the destruction, and it occurred to me that in my 50 years of life, I have been watching gangs of men destroy the earth. I have been watching equipment, and I have been watching trucks, and I have been watching roads carved into wilderness, into our places, into habitat, into the place where these animals live, never mind our habitat, the habitat of all these creatures. I have been watching these gangs of men destroy the earth my entire life. And so have you. We have all been watching this. So we know what we're talking about. We don't have to establish the facts anymore, do we? We just have to understand how to work on it, and how to be together in that work, and how to be courageous and strong and vivid, and how we step out of our lives, our everyday lives, our survival, into the survival of something bigger than us. And this is the lesson we have to learn. Tortuguita teaches us this. He leaves his life, wherever his life was. He leaves the structure of so-called society. He lives in an occupation in a forest. It's not easy. Living in a tent is difficult. I've done it. I did it as a child. It's hard. Try doing it when the pressures of capitalism are telling you not to. Try doing it when all of the pressures of your family, your children, your parents, your sisters, your brothers, your relatives, your job, your career are telling you not to. Make those sacrifices, take those risks. He did that. They did that. And I'm grateful for that lesson every time it happens, because it teaches me I can live with less. I can live with a lot less. And in living with less, I live with more. Always the abundance of the earth surprises us. And these trees are the greatest protest I've ever seen. These trees are the resistance. These trees are our leaders. These trees are our teachers. All we have to do is stand with them. And we know this. And we keep knowing it, and we keep knowing it, and yet, somehow we don't know how to work on it. So I say today, let's learn how to work on it. Let's learn how to work with it. And let's honor in that work the thousands and millions of people who have been killed defending their home. Because that is all we are doing, is defending our home. And what does our mean? It means a lot of things, okay? It means a lot of things. Right now, I mean it in the broadest sense. I don't mean this is my home, my human home. I mean this is our home. This is our life, our collective life. And we have to join it. We can no longer be separate. So I'm going to say Tortuguita, please respond presente, which for those of you who don't know is a way of saying lives or is with us, is present, just like it sounds, okay? And we'll just do it maybe 15 times, okay? All right, should we practice? Presente, just practice on your own. Presente. Tortuguita.
Presente.
Tortuguita.
Presente.
Tortuguita.
Presente.
Tortuguita.
Presente.
Tortuguita.
Presente.
Tortuguita.
Presente. Tortuguita. Presente.
Tortuguita.
Presente.
Tortuguita.
Presente.
Tortuguita.
Presente.
Tortuguita.
Presente.
Tortuguita.
Presente.
Tortuguita.
Presente.
Tortuguita.
Presente.
Will you want to say a word?
It's hard to shut up if I've worn my pink suit, you know. I know that I share a feeling with some of you. It's like a writer's block equivalent for activists. There's a feeling of being stuck lately. Anybody know what I'm talking about here? I know part of it has to do certainly with this forest we're standing in. As the bulldozers, as the gangs of men advance towards us. We haven't felt a fitting activism for this militarized consumerism that we live in here in New York City. We have each other to hug and whisper to and shout Tortuguita's name together. And I think that together, I hear this from you in conversations, we sense that there's a kind of activism that we haven't discovered yet. Earthalluia? Somebody? Earthalluia? Is that right? Do you feel that? In the intuition? In the unsaid, unknowable, but you feel it? There are things we have to invent now. It feels like a pivot point right now. John was right, it's been building all week in sadness and intensity and hopelessness, facing that lack of action. Rally march, rally march, rally march. I'll keep going. But sometimes there's a desperation, am I right? Yeah. Earthalluia. I think Emily's right that and you've all said this, and I know we're feeling it, that we're with living beings right at this moment, and our activist secret that we feel is coming towards us is expressed in this life here. We hear you, we feel it. Yesterday we went into a Chase bank. We discovered Chase is one of the financiers of the police in Atlanta. They support this police foundation, which is like a big PAC. And Jamie Dimon is on television saying that gas is green, and he's a liar, and he makes $35 million a year. How much is that? You know, we can't even picture it. It's 130 grand a day. And so, erecting this tent and with Cop City on it, and going into the Rockefeller Center, Chase Bank, and singing Tortuguita's name, it's like Activism 101. We're just kind of following what we know in our country. The change we've made has always come with this sacrifice. Change has always come in the United States with deaths. Why is that? And some of us will die and suffer. And these militarized helicopters coming overhead and these sirens, we can just feel it, right? We can feel it. Something was very right about just following Tortuguita's direction yesterday. We felt that something going into the heart of these executives and erecting the tent and going inside and singing his name. Something there. We felt like, oh, we took a step. And I could feel my activist block breaking up. There's something we're going toward that's going to look and feel a lot different than the activism we've been doing. It's there. It's there. We felt it in flashes yesterday. It's love. It's a deep emotion of some kind. It welled up inside of us. George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor. It's names, it's humans, it's lives, it's gifts. We have to be willing to do it too. Go there. They're setting a path forward for us. And I think it's going to feel weightless and strange and cultureless. It's like what artists always said they would do. Somebody following me here? I'm off the edge of the cliff right now. Earth-alleluia. I pray for us all. I'm so sorry this happened. I'm so sorry, Tortuguita. I'm so sorry, but I'm so grateful. And we will keep working, and we will go into that bank. In there. What is a bank? I don't even know. It's mysterious. It's a priesthood. They don't speak a language that anybody understands. And yet, half of this country is involved with the Chase Bank in some way. I just read that. It's a fundamentalist church. They're mumbling some old Latin or something. Let's go in there and sing the songs that have been taught to us by Tortuguita. Earth-alleluia.
We have a song from Violeta Parra. This is written about Santiago and some destruction that took place there of a park.
solían cantar. Después cortarán el tronco y pondrán en su lugar una leña y un pan. pondrán en su lugar una letrina y un bar.
Thank you, everyone. So we thought we would move together. So we thought we might move together amongst these trees. All that it requires is that you kind of stay in tune and follow the person in front of you. Andrea and I will try to guide us. And we'll end in a large circle. And we thought perhaps you could light your candle and that we could do it in quiet. So we could be with everything that we've heard tonight, with everything that we're feeling, and with that moon and these trees here with us.
It's easier with myself. Somebody charge. Lead us in the food.